Hello YouTubers and my fellow subscribers, thank you very much for tuning in, where today I review Birds of Prey, the latest film in the DCEU, and the second film to star Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, as she previously appeared in Suicide Squad. Birds of Prey, the basic plot of this movie is, after splitting with the Joker, Harley Quinn joins superheroes Black Canary, Huntress, and Renee Montoya to save a young girl from an evil crime lord. That's the plot of Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey, okay, I saw this movie a few days ago, and I have to say I was surprised. It wasn't as bad as I expected it to be. The trailers for this movie weren't particularly engrossing. However, I was always going to see it because I really enjoyed Margot Robbie in Suicide Squad. She was probably the best thing in that movie. And at some point I will review Suicide Squad. I promise I will review it at some point. I just haven't got around to it. But this movie is pretty good. It's definitely a film that is more relevant in the Me Too era. So it's definitely a feminism about this movie, which I like. And it does work. I mean, the movie's directed by a female. So good for that. Good for her. The film is directed by Cathy Yan. Cathy Yan. Cathy Yan's direction is good. I wouldn't say the film's perfect. I would say that its attempts at humour, it tries too hard to be humorous. It doesn't always work. Also, I feel like the beginning of the film, we should see Harley Quinn go nuts. We should see her lose her shit, if you will. Pardon the language. Because she split up with the Joker, right? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm pretty sure I'm not, but Harley Quinn and the Joker, like, Harley loves the Joker, like, thinks no one else is more important. Like, literally, the Joker is her world. So in this film, she goes on an arc to kind of become a slightly better person and realise that she doesn't need the Joker. I mean, that's all well and good. But the beginning, she's just partying, she's just getting drunk, and we should see her lose it. She's getting herself into all sorts of trouble, like she nearly gets assaulted by a man. And then she destroys a chemical base. Other than that, she doesn't do an awful lot. And it just feels like she just kind of like went, oh, okay. And then the next day she's eating her egg sandwich and it's like, oh, life goes on. So I don't know what I was supposed to really gauge from the beginning, like how depressed she actually was, but it didn't seem like she was depressed by much. I mean, that aside, Margot Robbie is once again great. She's a beautiful lady. Her American accent is perfect. She plays the part very well. I do think her performance in Suicide Squad is probably a bit better. Purely the simple fact is the character is written differently. The fact that she just is the Harley Quinn that we know from the comics. This movie, they tried to change her a bit, which I don't know if it works. Like, she has a relationship with the kid, and that doesn't quite work for me. I think it's because I can't see Harley Quinn being like that. I've always seen her as this outrageous, larger-than-life character who's completely devoted to the Joker. Okay, fair enough. They want to change things up by having her realise that she doesn't need the Joker in her life. She can stand on her own 2 feet. And that is really the central arc of this film, is Harley finding a way to stand on her own 2 feet. I like that. But the other females in this movie, you have Rosie Perez as Renee Montoya. You also have Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Huntress, and her story is very interesting, although she is kind of shoehorned into the third act of the movie just so they can set up the team. So she could have been a bit more integrated into the story from the get-go, but, you know, she was still good. Jurnee Smollett-Bell as Dina Lance, who is Roman's driver, Roman being the villain of this film. But the 3 ladies who make up the team are very good, and they're very engaging. They don't all come together until the end, but the film follows them on their own plots, as well as Harley. Ewan McGregor plays Roman Sionis, who is this prick gangster, and he is awful. He's just awful, otherwise known as Black Mask. He is just awful, and Ewan McGregor plays the part exceptionally well. He could have been written with a bit more character, but I still liked what he had. There's quite a tense scene when he gets one of the girls to stand up on the table and he rips her dress up, just one of his party guests, and he completely humiliates her. And he's just an outright arsehole, and he kills people by cutting their faces off. I mean, he's a really nasty guy. He doesn't put on the mask until the end of the movie, so I would have liked to have seen him do more of that. That would have been nice. But Ewan McGregor's performance is excellent, and his American accent is very good. You wouldn't tell that was a Scottish man, would you? And we have Ella J. Basco, who plays Cassandra. She is the kid in the movie who eats the diamond that Roman wants, which is quite interesting. Through most of the second act of the movie, it's her and Harley that we follow. It's a relationship that's a bit odd, I'll grant that, because Harley Quinn's supposed to be a head case, but I think they've tried to humanise Harley Quinn too much. They've tried to sympathise her and make her more down to earth, which I don't know if that really works for me. I just prefer the crazy Harley. I know that this movie is meant to send her on a character arc, but I don't know if it was necessary. The action sequences are very good. I enjoyed all the fights, particularly the prison sequence. That's very good. I do think the film overuses slow motion a bit too much. It doesn't always need to be slow, but I can see why they did it. It's an artistic thing. We also have Victor Zsasz in the movie as well. He's Roman's henchman. He's also a bit of a prick. I also like the car chase as well, when they're chasing after Roman. I do think the way Roman is dispatched of in the movie is not great. I would have preferred him and Harley to have like a one-on-one fight. I think Roman's departure from the film, shall we say, is very anticlimactic. Overall, this movie is a very mixed bag, and it was better than I expected it to be, but I don't think it's a film I'd see again. But I really appreciate that Margot Robbie came back to do this film, because she nails this part. She really is good. So on an overall score, I will give Birds of Prey a 7 out of 10. I liked it more than I expected, so that's good. So that's my review of Birds of Prey. Please leave your comments down below, let me know what you think of the movie, and stay tuned for more reviews. Until next time, I'm Mr. TARDIS11. See ya.